Hello, my name is Colin Brown, and I will be presenting Chapter 19, Sales and Operations Planning. So, what is sales operations planning? Sales and operations planning is a process that helps firms provide better customer service, lower inventory, shorten customer lead times, stabilize production rates, and give top management a handle on the business. The process consists of a series of meetings, finishing with a high level meeting where key intermediate term decisions are made. This must occur at an aggregate level and also at the detailed individual product level. Aggregate means at the level of major groups of products. So, sales and operations planning activities, an overview of it, was coined by companies to refer to aggregate planning. The new terminology is meant to capture the importance of cross functional work. Aggregation on the supply side is done by product families, and on the demand side, it is done by groups of customers. So, different types of planning include long range planning, which focuses on a horizon greater than 1 year, usually performed annually. The intermediate range planning focuses on a period from 3 to 18 months. Time increments are weekly, monthly, or quarterly. And then short range planning covers a period from 1 day to 6 months with daily or weekly time increments. So, aggregate operations plans it specifies the optimal combination of production rates, which are the units completed per unit of time, workforce level, which are the number of workers needed in a period, inventory on hand, which is the inventory carried from previous period, um, and product group or broad category aggregation, and planning is done over an intermediate range planning period of 3 to 18 months. So, the production planning environment in general, the external environment is outside the production planner's direct control. In some firms, demand can be managed. Complementary products work for firms facing cyclical demand fluctuations. With services, cycles are more often measured in hours than months. So, different inputs into the production planning system. You have raw material availability, market demand, economic conditions, activities required for production, inventory levels, current workforce, current physical capacity, external capacity, and competitors' behavior. So, different production planning strategies, they're the plans for meeting their demand. Trade offs involved including workers employed, work hours, inventory, and shortages. A pure strategy uses just one of these approaches, a mixed strategy uses two or more. So, different types of relevant costs include basic production costs, costs associated with changes in the production rate, back order costs, and inventory holding cost. So, the aggregate planning techniques, there's three different techniques. The first is cut and try approach. It involves costing out various production planning alternatives and selecting the one that is best. It has elaborate spreadsheets developed to facilitate the decision process. Next is linear programming, which uses a mathematical analysis to determine an optimal plan. And simulation is a what if analysis using simulated demand to evaluate effectiveness of alternative plans. So, to evaluate alternative plans, that involves to produce exact monthly production requirements by varying workforce size, to produce to meet expected average demand by maintaining a constant workforce, produce to meet the minimum expected demand using a constant workforce, and subcontract to meet additional requirements, and to produce to meet expected demand for all but the first 2 months using a constant workforce, and use overtime to meet additional output requirements. So level schedule holds production constant over a period of time. It is something of a combination of the strategies mentioned here. For each period, it keeps the workforce constant and inventory low, and depends on demand to pull products through. So, some advantages of level scheduling: the entire system can be planned to minimize inventory and work in process. Product modifications are up to date because of the low amount of work in process. There is a smooth flow throughout the production system. And purchased items from vendors can be delivered when needed, often directly to the production line. Different requirements for level scheduling. The production should be repetitive in assembly line format, for example. The system must contain excess capacity. Output of the system must be fixed for a period of time. There must be a smooth relationship among purchasing, marketing, and production. The cost of carrying inventory must be high. Equipment cost must be low, and the workforce must be multi skilled. So, yield management is the process of allocating the right type of capacity to the right type of customer at the right price and time to maximize revenue or yield. It can be a powerful approach to making demand more predictable. It has existed as long as there has been limited capacity for serving customers, and the widespread scientific application began with American Airlines' computerized reservation system, Sabre. Yield management success factors. Basically, demand can be segmented by customers. Fixed costs are high, variable costs are low, inventory is perishable, product can be sold in advance, and demand is highly variable. So, for an example of yield management, well, I'm going to talk about hotels. Hotels offer one set of rates during the week and another set during the weekend. The variable costs associated with their room are low in comparison to the cost of adding rooms to the property. Available rooms cannot be transferred from night to night. Block of rooms can be sold to conventions or tours, and potential guests may cut short their stay or not even show up at all. Yield management is the most common approach when price is variable and duration is predictable. Um, Pricing structures must appear logical to the customer and justify the different prices. Must handle variability in arrival or starting times, duration, and time between customers. Must be able to handle the service process. Must train employees to work in an environment where overbooking and price changes are standard occurrences that directly impact the customer. The essence of yield management is the ability to manage demand. And that is it for Chapter 19. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.